Good. Use parentheses. Good. So your calculator, go parentheses 10.
I got it. That's the only part I'm good at.
You're good at more than
When it comes to inclusive practices, part of what's happened in our profession is we have isolated students that maybe aren't on that path, thinking that putting them in a different place or location with extra support would help them achieve those goals. And we know from decades of data that actually makes those gaps bigger. So I think it starts with a high bar for what we want all students to learn, and we figure out how do we do that together with all of our students and not separate and rank and sort students and exclude them from the experience that all students should gain. We need all students to learn these algebra skills. We have two amazing educators in the room trying to make that happen. One teacher kind of is more expert on the content side of it, and then the other teacher is more of an expert on the learning side of it and how to have kids access the content. And so they'll kind of work together throughout the course of a period to teach the content, and then the other teacher might say, I'm noticing these kids over here aren't quite getting it, let's try something different. Or they're going to work together to plan ahead for some of those anticipated misconceptions that might happen. We're not going to start to notice students that are a little bit further behind and then go send them somewhere else to get that help. We're going to do it right there with their peers. We have an expanded peer tutor program here where students that want to serve their community are stepping up in ways and supporting their fellow students that maybe need that extra support. It's very much a relationship and a kind of a back and forth, and it does take two educators believing that all students can, working together to make it happen. When you have students that have been isolated or excluded for so long, I mean, there is an impact on what they believe about what they're capable of. That's a huge challenge. That's one of the hard parts about being in high school, is if you have kids that have traveled through a system for years and years and years that have been isolated and excluded, it takes some time to get them to believe in themselves again. And that's the challenge. What I'm super proud of this staff is, even in spite of that, we are saying, no, we're cutting that off here. I think the students with disabilities we've seen over the last few years is an increased sense of belonging that has definitely risen. You see those students get their dignity back, like they're in class with their peers and we're learning together, and you can kind of see them roll their shoulders back a little bit. Some of our students come to us pretty far behind, and we're just kind of learning how to do this together. So I think we have a lot of room for growth on the outcome side still, but as our system moves this direction, we're going to start to see our students come up more prepared.
So you can write it once like right here and once over here.
If you truly commit to all students, you literally start thinking one by one, and that's very overwhelming. We always need more time. We need more resources, but we know like that's always going to be the case. It takes a tremendous amount of teacher leadership, and it takes a staff willing to continue to learn and be uncomfortable and just understand that we're literally changing a system that wasn't designed for these outcomes, and to be excited to be a part of that solution. We're at this moment in our education journey as a whole system that like this is a pivotal moment right now, and I think schools that are embracing this and really trying to make it happen are going to make it, because we know we've got to do something different.